Yay, Horsehead Bookends road trip. Hey, it's Rob, welcome to Horsehead Bookends. Today we're at my buddy's store, Digital Press Videogames in Springfield, New Jersey. So why don't we go inside and check it out? Come on. Hey, what's up? I'm here with my friend Leo, who is the owner-operator of Digital Press in Springfield, and I had some questions for him, so we'll see how well he answers them. What's hot right now?
N64 and GameCube.
Really?
It's the nostalgic thing, because just like we were just saying, people that are nostalgic for stuff, the ideal age for nostalgia, the part where it kicks in and where you can then spend money on it, is when you are like end of high school into early college, before you graduate college. It's when you start getting your first like real job that's actually like bringing in real money. It's when you have time, as much as they like to think that they don't have any time because they're doing all their schoolwork and working, they get breaks, big breaks. So they have time to play these games and reminisce and spend time with their friends. So they want to play, they want to do what they did when they were kids.
See, me personally, I was never a fan of the Nintendo 64.
Well, on the N64, now all of a sudden everybody wants Beetle Racing. That was a game that I had so many copies of.
We had so many copies of it in Funko Land.
I almost gave it away with a couple systems at one point because
it was good.
I didn't have anything else.
It was a good game.
Everybody wants it now. They're like
to complete collection.
Well, no, they want it because they're
it?
like it's Mario Kart but with Volkswagens.
Oh.
And I'm like, but that's all it needs is you got to say it's like this, like Ninja 5.0 for the Game Boy Advance.
Oh yeah, super hard to find expensive game.
Yeah, I have a copy.
You don't know.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's $150, but people always ask like, why is it so expensive? Like, well, it came out real late in the lifespan. Not a lot of people bought it, and they're like, well, is it a good game? I'm like, it's a combination of Bionic Commando and Ninja Gaiden. And they're like, oh my god!
It is good. It's a good game. I got a copy of it at KB for like $9 when they blew them out, because it was part of the end of the life cycle, and KB would have these massive sales. So what right now is cold? What was super popular but now just completely fell off the radar?
NES.
You're the second person that has told me that.
Yeah, it's definitely true. And even talking to other store owners, a lot of them, In 2015, a lot of them were complaining because they couldn't keep NES in stock. They're like, well, my entire stock's gone. I don't even have Mario Brothers Duck Hunt anymore. I was managing in 2015, so NES systems, we couldn't keep them in stock. They were selling like crazy.
Yeah.
Same thing with games, including Mario Duck Hunt. At the time, we included every NES with a copy of Mario Duck Hunt. And Mario Duck Hunt was actually selling for $10. I had to come to a decision. I was like, all right, I either raise the price of the NES and leave Mario Duck Hunt in there, or remove it and keep the NES system the same price and sell the game separately, and that's what I ended up doing.
Yeah.
Now, I've considered putting the Mario Duck Hunt back in there with the NES, but I haven't had a single customer look at an NES and be like, well, if it came with the Mario game, I'd buy it.
Video games are not an investment. Do not plan on making millions of dollars from your video game collections. It's just not going to happen.
Otherwise, no store would be open more than 3 years.
Yeah.
You open up, get a stock, and then that's it, retire.
So the real reason I decided to come here today was for the vlog, I'm going to have my 6-year-old son start reviewing some really terrible video games that came out, retro games, and see what he thinks about them. Now they're not all going to be bad, but most of them are going to be really bad. So I decided to come here and ask Leo what he recommends from basically the PlayStation and going earlier. So I don't want to do the Saturn because it's hard. It's going to be hard to get some games for it.
Yeah.
The 64 I'm not doing. The GameCube I'm not doing.
The 64 is also like 75% racing games.
Yeah. So that's not happening. So I decided the cutoff point was going to be the PlayStation.
Yeah.
And we're going to do no handhelds.
Okay.
Just because it's. I have a big PlayStation collection, so it's easier for me to start there and work backwards. And then maybe if I have to buy some things, I'll buy some extra games. So for the PlayStation, what would be like your favorite PlayStation game?
Actually, it would be too complicated for him, but I really like the One Piece Mansion game. It's nothing to do with the anime.
Okay, what would be your absolute hated game on the PlayStation?
I didn't play a lot of PlayStation. That's the problem. So I don't really know what would be a bad PlayStation 1 game, because all I know are the good ones. Because I only played like a handful, so like there's very few that I picked up and played that I didn't like.
Yeah. See, again, Manager Funkoland, Heart of PlayStation Boom. It was like I've played a ton of them. Like, I know a ton of really, really terrible ones.
I can't think of any.
Like Reloaded is pretty bad.
Okay.
Oh God, what else?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what customers have told me as far as games. Like, oh, I remember that game, it was so bad. Because for systems that for like everything, because there's just so many years of stuff and there's no way I could have played it all.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it I got to go off of what other people have said. So if a lot of people come in like, oh, I remember that it was awful, I remember that it was good. Now a lot of that's what I have to go off of, like the general consensus.
The original Tekken wasn't very good.
That would make sense, and that's also like everyone goes the second one. I mean, I guess the same things with Twisted Metal because like no one ever talks about the first one, but
the first one was okay, but the second one was just way better.
Yeah,
it's the first one was okay.
The second one's also more expensive. The first one I think still like $15, but the second one's
$20. So good. Yeah, it's so. But I still with that car combat, Vigilante 8. Loved Vigilante 8. I thought it was way better.
Yeah.
Super Nintendo. That favorite game.
I mean, I always go back to the Fly game in Mario Paint.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. That was what I tested. Hyperkin came out with an optical mouse for the Super Nintendo, so instead of a ball, it's got the laser. And that was the first thing I tested, and I performed better with the optical mouse than the ball mouse. So I'm like, okay, this is an improvement. Not only that, but the mouse itself is bigger. So like the Super Nintendo mouse is like super tiny. It's made for like a 5-year-old or somebody with tiny hands at least. So like you got to like really claw it to move it around. This thing's huge. It's like a normal human mouse now.
Worst game, there's a lot of bad ones.
There are, because the platforming genre was reaching a boom and everybody thought, and it worked because people bought it. It was just make anything jump on platforms and it'll sell, and it did. But Blues Brothers for the Super Nintendo, it's god awful. Also another bad game.
Blues Brothers rated R movie that they're making kids games for. And that's not the first one. There's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
That rated R games. They're like, let's make a video game out of it for the kids.
Yeah.
NES. Favorite game on NES.
I like Pipe Dreams because I like puzzle games. What else did I play a lot of on the NES? Well, Kirby.
Yeah, of course. I loved Faxanadu.
Oh yeah.
I just played it so much
Yeah.
for some reason. I thought it was just a terrific game. And Super Mario.
Oh, and Yoshi and Dr. Mario, because I like puzzle games.
Yeah.
I love puzzle games, and I just like Dr. Mario and Yoshi for like how much simpler they are, but still more involved. Like at face, Yoshi and Dr. Mario look simpler than Tetris, but Tetris is a lot more simpler, and I lose interest in Tetris a lot faster than I do Dr. Mario and Yoshi.
So worst NES game.
All right, there's a lot. I mean, for him to play stuff
That would be funny watching a 6-year-old go,
Yeah.
this game is terrible.
Mylon's
Why?
Secret Castle or Super Pitfall,
Mylon's
because
Secret Castle
they
is
come
horrible.
out as face as like simple platformers, but they're so involved. There's so much hidden stuff in it that it's just gonna drive him nuts.
I'm just gonna give him Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, the first one,
and
yeah.
make him break a controller.
Yeah.
All right, Atari 2600 favorite game.
Berserk.
Nice.
I love
Berserk's
Berserk.
good. Solaris is my number 2.
Mhm.
Dodge 'em. Love Dodge 'em.
Never played Dodge 'em.
Yeah. What?
I own it. I never played it.
Dodge 'em is so good. It's basically just Pac-Man with cars.
Okay.
But you have, instead of having
Oh,
ghosts,
yeah, I've played it. Yeah,
you have
that's good.
another car going, like
Yeah.
a phantom car going around to
Yeah.
try to like crash into you. And all the button did, it would you have 2 speeds. You have slow or fast.
And the button changes that?
Yep.
Okay.
And when
I
you're
like
going
that.
slow, you can go across 3 lanes
Uh-huh.
to when you go across lanes. But when you're going fast, you can only go across 1.
Okay.
So it's the great game.
Yeah, I like Berserk and Kaboom.
Worst Atari 2600 game.
E.T. I'm trying to think of some of the worst ones because a lot of them are just like it's restricted, you know. I don't know. There's not a lot of games on the Atari that I played that I hated, and I hated it for like a legit reason. Don't know. Yeah, I remember a lot more than I like. Like I love Demon Attack.
Demon Attack was a good one.
Yeah. The Asteroids is a good port. Pitfall is a good port. Heroes is good. Everyone loves Hero. Honestly, Heroes is just overrated though at this point because
Yeah.
it's a good game, but everyone's got to have it. And I'm like, I think people are paying $50 for Hero on the 2600 right now.
That's crazy.
I'm like, it's not that good. All right, it's a good game, and for what it's on, it's doing great. But like, still.
You know what I would have to say? Even though I like the game, I really do like the game, but I think one of the worst games on there, Star Raiders.
I never played Star. That's the one with the key.
Yeah,
keypad,
you need
yeah.
this weird keypad, and you know what? It was fun, but it was very long. It was very tedious. There was a lot that you had to do, and even if you had the keypad, if you didn't have the overlay or knew what the buttons
Yeah,
did, it was very confusing. So that was one of them that I really didn't like.
Indiana Jones is another one. That's another go-to for that. That one, I think, if they had just figured out a different way to handle the controller, it would have been. It would be like E.T., where everyone would have hated it. But if
Yeah.
you really understood it, you can get it.
Well, the problem with Indiana Jones was that you needed to plug in a controller to the second port,
yeah.
and it didn't tell you anywhere that
Yeah.
you had to do that. There was nothing in the instructions. There was nothing like.
And then you got to
clue.
juggle 2 controllers.
Yep, yeah, and it was. I never beat it. I still to this day haven't beat Indiana Jones, even though now I know how to.
Yeah.
I just never went back and did it. All right, what's your favorite arcade game? Because you don't have a
Dig
bunch
Dug.
of arcades. Because I have them do arcades too.
Yeah. Dig Dug.
Dig Dug.
Yeah.
Dig Dug's a good one. I like
Dig Dug, and I've been playing a ton of Galaga now because we actually just got a Galaga cocktail that we're selling here. And
Yeah,
in the
I saw it.
meantime, I've been playing the hell out of it. I absolutely love Galaga.
You got to get that double ship early. That's.
I don't do the double ship thing.
Oh really?
I don't.
I
because
always do the double ship.
For me, it's always much better to have a smaller target
Okay.
and to take advantage of having the extra life to actually get further to get more chances for bonus points. That's just
good.
my strategy, though.
I think Mr. Do is probably my favorite old
Yeah.
original. The original.
Mr.
arcade
Do,
games.
yeah.
Mr. Do is really good.
Yeah, I have a machine here because the guy that got me into arcade machines, that was his game.
Yeah,
He
Mr.
played
Do
the
is
hell
great.
out of it.
Mr. Do is great, but I really love City Connection. It's one of my favorite.
I haven't played it
games.
too much. I liked it when I played it.
It's like if you haven't played City Connection, it's like Amador, except you're in a car, and you have to basically color in all these tracks on 3 levels, and you can shoot oil cans at
Yeah.
cars, and you have to watch out for the devil. The devil appears out of nowhere, like you. sometimes you just get trapped. Like,
well, it's a Japanese game, right? So like once in a while they just got to come up with an enemy and they'll just be like, "What's
so
evil?"
It's so weird. Most hated arcade game.
That's a really tough one because you really only get to play them on MAME then, because I'm not going to buy a cabinet to hate it.
Well, even in the arcades, if you're spending quarters,
Yeah.
like what was a game that every time as a kid you put a quarter in and go, wow, that was terrible. I just wasted a quarter and I could
Any
have played
hunting
something
or
else.
most racing games? Because there's people that absolutely love those, but that's just not my thing. Like I'm not a hunter, and racing games. The only ones I ever liked was cruising.
Thank you very much,
No
Leo.
problem.
So come on down to Digital Press in Springfield.
Yeah, it's 765 Mountain Avenue in Springfield, New Jersey. It's right off of Route 22, which is right off the Parkway, and right across the street from Chaffee's.
Yes. So you come down, get a slice of pizza, and buy some video games. Thanks. I'll
No
talk
problem.
to you soon. Hey, I wanted to thank Leo and Digital Press for having me out there again. His address and telephone number are below. Give him a call. He's got lots of great stuff in the store. Unfortunately, I didn't go home with anything today, which I normally do, so good for me. Hey, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, I'm super sorry. I will try better next time. Please click subscribe, and you can see when I upload new videos. Otherwise, talk to you later.